Hey guys, welcome back to Data Management and Visualization course. So far we have discussed about exploratory data analysis and how to draw frequency distributions of certain variables. Also, we have created a subset of our data in which all the population is only 18 to 25-year old and the person who has smoked cigarettes in the past 12 months. In this video, we will discuss about data management. Now, the formal definition of data management, we all know that, so we'll just skip to this part and we'll focus on the importance of data management. For an organization, data management can be very important. It is used for minimizing errors, increasing productivity, increasing cost efficiency, security purposes, and many more. Now, in this video, what we will be doing is first we will start with setting aside the missing data, then we will recode valid data and recode the values, and then we will create secondary variables, and in the last we will group values within the individual variables. So moving on to the first step of data management. Here we will decide whether to code out the missing data for our variables or not. So for that, let's take a look at our variables in the codebook. Now if we look at the variable S3AQ3B1, which represents the usual frequency when smoked cigarettes, here the dummy codes are represented, and for the if you look at the dummy code 9, then it shows that the samples are unknown, which means that we don't know how much these individuals have smoked, so we don't want to include them in our analysis, so we will set them as NaN. In order to do so, we will use replace function and all. First let's just have a look at the frequency distribution of the variable before setting aside the missing data. So here we can see that the dummy codes along with the values. Now to set aside the missing data, we will use the following code. Here we have used replace function and we will have set aside 9 to NaN. Now if we run the code and visualize the frequency distribution after setting aside the missing data, then they will look like this. Here you can see the difference. The only difference occur for the uh, for the dummy code 9 is that it has been changed by NaN. Now after setting aside the missing data, we will recode the values. If we look at the same variable as 3AQ3B1, we can see that the lower values means that the respondents smoke more, and the higher values means that the respondent smoke less. So we have to recode the values, and in order to do so we will form a dictionary named as recode1, and in which we will replace 1 from 6, 2 from 5, 3 from 4, 4 from 3, and similarly 5 and 6 from 2 and 1 respectively. And after that we'll use map function to recode the values, and we will recode the values and form a new variable named as usFreq. We did so because we don't want to coincide both the variables. But there is actually another option that may be even better for giving the variables maximally appropriate code. In a way, dummy code 1 through 6 are unnecessary categorical, and we know that how often you smoke a cigarette is generally a quantitative variable. So it may be more reasonable to recode the variables in order to capture more of its quantitative features. So if we look at the variable S3AQ3B1, then we can see that here 1 represents that the person has moved every day in a month. So we can recode it with 30. Similarly, 2 represents that he have smoked 5 to 6 days a week. So if we take that average of that for a month, then we'll replace 2 with 22. Similarly, by taking the average and taking the average for a month, we can set 3 with 14, 4 with 5, 5 with 2.5 and 6 with 1. Now after recoding the values, we will use a similar process, but here we will create another variable named as US freak mo, in order to distinguish all the work we have done. So we just run the program, and if you look at the frequency distribution of this new variable US freak mo, then here we can see that it is same as for the variable S3AQ3B1, just the dummy codes are different and more reasonable dummy codes are there. Now if we want to estimate the total number of cigarettes that participants smoke per month, it would make sense to multiply the number of cigarettes per day times the number of days smoked per month. We can call this new variable numsigmo underscore est, and the frequency distributions of this new variable will look like this. So moving on to the last and final step of data management, grouping values within individual variables. Here we will use edge function. Here we will use edge variable to do this operation. Now first we will just have some frequency distribution of edge variable. For our data frames up to age 18 to 25-year-old, we have this age frequency distributions. Now our topic is grouping values within individual variables, and for that, if we want our age group to be cut at 25, 50, 75 and 100 percentile, we would like to add the following statements to our code. This statement splits our age into quartiles. We use the pandas qcut function, set the variable age for cutting and the data frame where Python can find it. Then we indicate that there will be 4 groups and then label those groups. Here I decide to include both dummy codes 1 through 4 and also which groups those dummy codes refer to, that is the groups uh, age groups cut at 25, 50 and 100 percentiles. Now if we run this program, then it will show us that it will show the frequency distributions of 75, 100, 75, 50, 25 and 100 percentile will look like this. Now again, if we want to evaluate the customized split, what if we want to split our result into 3 parts, like 3 age groups. The first age group can be of 18 to 20, the second can be of 21 to 22, and the third is from 23 to 25. To do this, we can use the following code in our program, and if we run that, then it will show the how many number of participants lie into the 3 age groups. Now in the end, if we want to verify the above code that it worked as we intended. We can use the cross tab function, which allow us to cross the two variables with one group to determine which edges were included in which level of the age group 3. Now if we run the program, then we can see that the number of ages are included in the age group 3. So that is it for this video, guys. In the next video we'll look more into how to visualize the data and how to draw graphs based on your current variables or based on your observations. Thank you.